So Manchester United has won 4 games in a row now in the Premier League after winning Spurs 2-0 at Old Trafford last Saturday. So guys, we want to actually analyze how Manchester United was able to beat Thomas Frank's Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United. But you all can agree with me that before Michael Carrick came into Manchester United, there was a lot of analysis by me on how Manchester United can be able to play under Michael Carrick, on how he intends to attack with a 3-3-4 setup and how he intends to also defend with a 4-4-2 setup. And this is what Michael Carrick has been doing at Manchester United, and he also wants his players to be playing in close proximity. And because he didn't have like much technical players in Middlesbrough, he was not able to entirely carry out this system and this pattern. But you could see that Manchester United, he's beginning to bring in these systems both in attack and in both in defensive phase. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how he was able to use this system in the Tottenham Hotspur game. So in the first situation, you could see that Lisandro Martinez with the ball, of course, he's the detector of the pitch. And you could see that immediately he plays the ball into Bruno Fernandes. And the moment he plays the ball into Bruno Fernandes, you could see how hyper reactive the players are. You could see how the player intends to react, because Michael Carrick likes to create a box in the middle of the pitch or on the side of the pitch at every point in time. And the reason of creating this close proximity and this box is to drag players out of position. And when these players are fully dragged out of position, what he then does next is to exploit the space in behind. So once Bruno holds the ball, of course, he gives to Matheus Cunha. You could see there was a lot of exchange in the box, and if Bruno would have just laid the ball to Diego Dalot at the end of the sequence, you could see that Manchester United would have scored a wonderfully structured goal. So in the second situation, of course, Lisandro Martinez again is with the ball as he's the detector, and before he plays into Casemiro, you could see that Casemiro was already scouting and already scanning on who is going to give the ball next, because Michael Carrick likes his players to make fast decision, quick decision when they're on the ball, and he doesn't like them to hold on the ball for longer periods of the game. So you could see that the moment Casemiro holds the ball, of course, he plays into Matheus Cunha, and you could see that Matheus Cunha is the player that always has this issue of holding the ball for a very long time. But since when Carrick became the interim manager of Manchester United, you could see that he's beginning to realize that this is a team sport and you really have to have less time on the ball if you really want to be unpredictable. You see that Cunha immediately also scans and plays the ball into the half spaces that were vacated by Tottenham Hotspur. You can see that Manchester United also scored a goal through this particular sequence. So in another situation, you're going to see that Lisandro Martinez is with the ball. Of course, he gives into Kebumeno, and Kebumeno immediately plays the ball to Bruno Fernandes. And you can see that if Bruno Fernandes had turned and actually assesses his option, tried to scan his option, he would have actually created a wonderful attacking sequence. But like I said, Michael Carrick likes his players to take less time on the ball. So Bruno Fernandes immediately plays to the back. And then you can see that the detectors recycle from Maguire, Martinez, they recycled, and then they give the ball to Kebumeno. Kebumeno immediately plays the ball to Casemiro, and this immediately disorients the mid-press of Spurs. So the reason for proximity for Michael Carrick is actually to have players to give the ball at every point in time, and also try to overload the opposition players at every point in time. You will see that during their Mourinho tenure, you're going to find that Manchester United tends to recycle very slowly. We spend a lot of time on the ball, so this makes the opposition, their mid-press, their mid-block to be very compact. But in the case of Michael Carrick, it is absolutely different. So once again, you could see that Martinez with the ball, there is a line-breaking pass to Casemiro. You could see that Manchester United tends to set up boxes at every point in time. So as Lisandro Martinez with the ball, of course, Manchester United forms a box that is going to shift the focus of the mid-block of Spurs. So all the mid-blocks are actually focused on preventing Manchester United from playing through the box, playing through tight spaces, while Manchester United was trying to create space for Matheus Cunha. So the moment the block has actually shifted the focus of the mid-press of Spurs, Matheus Cunha was absolutely very open. And the moment Van de Ven spotted that Matheus Cunha was very free, he intends to try to cover up Matheus Cunha and try to press Matheus Cunha. And then you could see that Casemiro immediately decides to play into Ahmad. And the moment he played into Ahmad, it was a very wonderful pass, and it would have led to a very wonderful and a well-structured goal. So this is basically the goal of Michael Carrick: try to play into those tight spaces, try to create boxes on every part of the pitch, and drag the opposition, make them to try to press and make them to commit, and then Manchester United try to exploit the spaces in the end. And of course, when you're playing a team like West Ham next in the Premier League on Tuesday nights, when you actually know that they are definitely a very good team in their mid-block, in their their defensive shape, they are well structured. That was one of the reasons Manchester United was able to draw them the last time at Old Trafford. You're definitely expecting something different from Michael Carrick. You're definitely expecting a different approach from Michael Carrick against West Ham or anything. So I want you guys to give me your thoughts on the comment section. I want you guys to also give me your prediction on the West Ham game Manchester United is having on Tuesday night. So see you guys in my next video. Ciao.